I'm Rod Serling. You're listening to The Zero Hour.
Suspense.
I'm the Whistler.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Who is it?
The Fat Man.
Presents The Man Called X.
The Mysterious Traveler. Another journey into the realm of the strange and terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves. Where are we going? You'll find out when we get there.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Drama and Theater, brought to you by Duane Old Time Radio. Drama and Theater features some of the best programs from the golden age of radio, including Escape, The Fat Man, Suspense, The Whistler, Zero Hour, Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, and many, many more. Also, my podcasts are free of ads, so you can enjoy the programs commercial-free. If you would like to donate a few dollars to help me cover the cost of creating these weekly posts, you can donate to my channel. On the bottom of each post, there is a donation link in your preferred podcast player. Anything you donate is extremely helpful and appreciated. And now on to the drama, and thank you for your support as always. Hope you enjoy. 2 episodes from Mollé Mystery Theater. The first one is Criminal at Large, April 11th, 1944. And then we're going to finish with Death Talks Out of Turn, June 20th, 1944.
Good evening. This is Peter Roy. Yes, there is a certain delicate art to murder. The elegant killer scorns the use of firearms or knives. But strangulation, there a clever fellow can snuff a life out as you would a candle. How about a demonstration, okay? Then listen to the Mystery Playhouse. And now for tonight's play, Criminal at Large. Come with me, my friends, to Scotland Yard in London, the London of the early 1900s. A man was found dead, strangled to death, in a village called St. Mark's Priory, and Scotland Yard is investigating the murder. Chief Inspector Tanner is in his office, and he's discussing the situation with his assistant, Sergeant Tutty.
Well, Tutty? Well, this bloke what was killed was the chauffeur for Lord Lebanon. His name was William Studd. He was returning from a fancy dress ball and was strangled on the way. Nobody hated him, and there's no clue as to who killed him.
Fancy dress ball, eh? What was he wearing?
Aha! He was dressed in Indian clothes, Tanner. And that's where my theory comes in. It was Dr. Amersham who found the chauffeur at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, what was Dr. Amersham doing at 2 in the morning in the Priory Field?
It's your theory, Sergeant. Suppose you tell me.
Well,
Chief Constable Tanner, Lord Lebanon. Right. Lord Lebanon is outside. Go bring him in.
Here's Lord Lebanon, Inspector.
Hello. I hope I'm not an awful nuisance.
No, not at all, Lord Lebanon. I'm Chief Inspector Tanner. What can I do for you?
Well, Inspector Tanner, the whole thing is very vulgar, and When one's mother's involved... Well, everything was all right while my father was alive. Shocking invalid. Never left his room for 15 years.
Your visit here concerns your father?
Not exactly. I'm just starting at the beginning, you know. When Father died, I should have come back from India, but then Amersham came out after me, wanted me to take my seat in the House of Lords. Silly. What?
But you came back?
Yes, to find my mother was expecting me to marry Isla Crane. It's deuced awkward.
Awkward?
She's terribly nice, but there's something odd about her.
Odd?
She's been frightened since that infernal murder. Why, my dear fellow, she walks in her sleep.
You say she's frightened, Lord Lebanon? Of what?
I shouldn't be surprised if it's that American footman my mother hired. A strapping big fellow. He lurks.
He does what?
Lurks. You know, you pop out of your room and there he is, lurking in the hall.
Well, why don't you fire him? You're the master of the house.
Oh, yes, I'm the master in a way. Still, it's rather difficult when a fellow has a mother. But I don't want any fuss. I'll probably marry Isla in spite of her walking in her sleep.
What about this Dr. Amersham?
Oh. Well, you might as well know. Dr. Amersham is a man I dislike intensely.
Is he a friend of your mother's?
I suppose so, in a way. But he doesn't like me. He doesn't like Isla, doesn't like anybody. And I'll tell you something else about him. When he was in India, a woman was killed in his bungalow. Indian woman. Beautiful gal. Strangled.
Strangled? Can you tell me any more about it?
She was strangled with some sort of scarf. Oh, there was a terrible row about it. But he got out of it.
I see. Lord Lebanon, why exactly have you come to see me?
Well, I'll be perfectly frank with you. I'm frightened. I don't want to make a scene, but at the same time, I don't want to die.
Aren't you possibly exaggerating?
I don't know whether I am or whether I'm not, but there's something going on. And I don't understand it. Honestly, I do wish you'd come down and look into it.
All right, Lord Lebanon. We'll be down the first thing tomorrow morning.
It's a good thing you're taking me with you to Mark's Priory, Tanner. As I always say, you can't go wrong when you've got the coolest head in the yard along with you.
Quiet, Toddy. Here we are.
Mark's Priory Castle. Can you imagine a lightweight brain like Lord Lebanon having all this and £40,000 a year? Now, if I had that money,
You'd spend it all on loose liquor and aged women. We're going in now, Toddy. Mind your manners.
Yes, sir?
Chief Inspector Tanner and Sergeant Toddy of Scotland Yard. We're here to see Lady Lebanon and the household.
Lady Lebanon's in the drawing room. I'll announce you.
Wait a minute. You're not the butler.
No, sir. Butler's busy just now. I'm the doorman.
Footman, eh? Then you must be the American Gilder.
Yes, sir?
How long have you been here, Gilder?
8 years.
I believe you have an account at the London and Provincial Bank, haven't you?
Yes, Inspector.
Very unusual, isn't it? For a footman to have an account in a London bank.
Some of us are very thrifty.
So I noticed. But isn't it rather a large balance?
3,000 or 4,000 pounds. I bought some good stocks now and then.
What is your salary here?
Pretty good one. Her ladyship is generous.
Well, I'll want to talk to you later, Gilder.
Sure. Anytime. Now I'll announce you to her ladyship.
Never mind. I'll announce myself. Come on, Toddy. That seems to be the drawing room ahead. Lady Lebanon?
Yes?
I'm Chief Inspector Tanner, Scotland Yard. This is Sergeant Toddy, who was down here 2 days ago.
How do you do? This is Dr. Amersham, my physician.
How do you do?
How do you do, Inspector?
Why are you here, Inspector?
I must remind your ladyship that your son's chauffeur was murdered only a few days ago. It will be necessary for me to question all of you. Toddy, you take care of the servants.
Right, sir.
Lady Lebanon, I would like to see your son and his fiancée, as well as you and the doctor.
Very well. Dr. Amersham, will you step upstairs and ask Isla to come down?
Glad to, if the inspector won't read something criminal into my actions. You never know about these police.
Oh, before you go, Doctor, I believe you spent some time in India.
Oh, yes. I'm practically a colonial.
And I believe there was some incident of a native girl being strangled in your bungalow.
A very unfortunate incident, Inspector. I'm sure you must be interested in the police work on the case. Sometime, perhaps, I'll tell you all about it. Now, if you'll pardon me, I'll see if I can find Miss Craig.
That clever man. Is there anything you wish to tell me, Lady Lebanon?
I knew very little about the poor chauffeur. The servants can probably tell you the things you have to know. I suppose you want to look over the castle?
Yes, of course.
Are you interested in blazonry, Inspector? The coat of arms you see in here represent an eternity. The Lebanon line stands unbroken for 1,200 years. It would be a pity were it to die out.
I'm sure it would. How long have you known Dr. Amersham, Lady Lebanon?
Many years, since before my husband died.
I was aware of that. In fact, I noticed that your husband's death certificate was signed by Dr. Amersham.
Yes, it was. I believe you said you wished to see my son, Inspector. I'll go and tell him.
When constabulary duties to be done. The policeman.
I say, that's rather jolly. I didn't know policemen could sing.
Oh, good morning, Lord Lebanon. I see your mother found you.
My mother, no, I haven't seen her. I suppose it's beastly of me, but I'm always rather glad when I don't see her. I say, I'm awfully glad you've come down. Have you met Amersham?
I've met him.
He's a nasty piece of work, isn't he? I loathe him. You know, it just occurred to me, this chauffeur chap of ours might have been strangled by a scarf like that Indian gal I told you about.
Wouldn't surprise me if you were right.
It wouldn't? You know, Inspector, I've always thought I had a talent for that sort of thing, snooping around for clues.
You have?
Yes, indeed. It would never do, though, I suppose. The trouble is I can't stand the sight of blood. It unnerves me for days. Ghastly, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I imagine there are many people who can't stand the sight of blood.
You think so? I say, you will look into this, Amersham, won't you? Things are pretty rum around here, and I'm sure that he's at the bottom of it.
Willie, what were you saying to the inspector?
Nothing, Mother. I'm just remarking that Dr. Amersham is a bounder.
Oh, nonsense, Willie. I'll not have you talking that way about Dr. Amersham. Where were you? I was looking everywhere for you.
You couldn't have looked very hard. I was in the den all morning.
It seems to be taking Dr. Amersham quite a while to bring Miss Crane down. I wonder...
He has been a little long, but I'm sure they'll be here any minute.
If you ask me...
Tyler, what can be the matter?
Dashed odd gang.
We'll see. Come on.
Isla, what's the meaning of this nonsense?
It's up there on the stairs. And... It's so terrible. Black and contorted. As though he'd been choked to death.
Who, Miss Crane? Who is dead?
Dr. Amersham. You wanted to see me, Lady Lebanon?
Yes, I did, Isla. What is the matter with you? All you do is fidget and look frightened.
I don't know. I heard the police saying that Dr. Amersham and the chauffeur were both strangled with a scarf. They found red threads on their throats.
What's frightening about that?
Well, I opened the drawer of your desk this afternoon and I found a red scarf there.
My dear child, you're dreaming. Which drawer?
This one.
You see, there's nothing there. You mustn't let these things get on your nerves the way you do.
These things? How can you speak so lightly about it? 2 men are killed here and you act so calmly. I can't go on staying in this awful place. I can't.
But you will, Isla, dear. I sent your mother her quarterly check last week and just had a letter from her this morning. She's so happy to be secure after all the hard times she's been through.
Oh, don't. Please don't. You know I wouldn't be here a day if it weren't for her. If she knew what I'm doing, she'd rather starve than have me go on.
Don't be stupid. For heaven's sake, don't be hysterical. I can't stand hysterical women. They have unhealthy children, and you must have healthy children after you're married to Willie. Yes, Gilda?
It's a gentleman from Scotland Yard. I've finished showing him over the house, and
We want to see you, Lady Lebanon.
Oh, have you been through the castle already? Inspector Tanner?
Every room except one.
The lumber room, my lady.
On the first floor. One of the best positions in the house. That's a queer place for a lumber room.
We call it the lumber room. It's really a place where I keep a few valuables.
Your man has the key?
No, I never open that room. Inspector Tanner, I'll tell you the truth. That is the room where my husband died. It hasn't been opened since that day.
But I'm sure I've seen it open, Lady Lebanon.
You are quite mistaken, Isla. You must be overwrought. Go to your room.
Yes, Lady Lebanon.
I'm sorry, my lady, but I must insist on the room being open.
But why, Inspector? Surely there's nothing there that will interest you.
There might be. I'm looking for a collection of silk scarves, and I want to find them before somebody else gets strangled.
Ridiculous.
I don't think so. Incidentally, we discovered that a scarf, perhaps the one used on Dr. Amersham, was burned this afternoon in a stove in the kitchen. Would you know anything about it?
If anything has been burned, I haven't the least idea who burned it or what it was.
I'm afraid I'm at fault, Inspector. I found some odd bits of silk on the carpet and burned them.
Why, of course, Gilda. I was cutting out a doll's dress for the village bazaar.
Doll dresses. Look, Chief, just give me a few minutes.
Not now, Toddy, not now. Lady Lebanon, it strikes me that you're not very anxious to have the murder of your friend cleared up.
Dr. Amersham was not a friend of mine.
So the fact that he was murdered within a few yards of this room really doesn't matter?
Aren't you being rather insolent, Inspector Tanner?
I suppose I am. But your own attitude is rather peculiar. If he wasn't a friend of yours, what was he doing here?
He came to see me as a doctor.
At your request?
No, he just dropped in.
So early in the morning, an odd hour for dropping in?
I had a touch of neuritis in my arm.
Oh, yes, neuritis. But you didn't send for him?
No.
He just guessed that you had neuritis and dropped in. Very convenient type of doctor to have.
I'm not interested in your conclusions, Inspector Tanner.
You will be in some of them. And Lady Lebanon, I intend to see that room, which you choose to call the lumber room. If not voluntarily, then with a court order.
This is an outrage. No magistrate in this county would grant it.
Then I'll go to the Home Secretary.
You won't be able to reach him until tomorrow, Chief.
So, my home will belong to me until tomorrow, at least?
Maybe. You don't seem to realize, or want to, that there's a murder around. I know the identity of the murderer, Lady Lebanon, but I haven't got the proof. It may be in that room you refuse to open.
Impossible.
Not so impossible. Sergeant Totty and I are staying here this evening. I suggest that you reconsider and give us the key to the lumber room. It may save somebody's life.
Oh, what a day this has been, Chief. I'm glad the household's getting tucked into their beds. I could do with a bit of sleep myself.
We'll go to bed ourselves, Totty, as soon as we're sure that everything's quiet. We can step into the library for a last smoke while we're waiting.
Look, Chief. There on the floor. Why, he's got another one.
I see her. Miss Crane. Thank heavens he wasn't successful this time, Totty. She's still alive, although she'll have a sore throat for a while.
Here's the scarf he did it with, too.
I think she's coming around. Hello. I say, what's wrong? What's wrong? Our murderer tried to get Miss Crane.
Oh, I say, poor gal. Is she done for?
You know, she'll be all right in a moment.
No.
There, now, Miss Crane. It's Inspector Tanner. You've had a nasty shock, but you're not hurt.
My throat.
Who did it, Miss Crane?
I don't know. I was just standing here, and suddenly that scarf was whipped around my neck. I couldn't see who. I think it was...
It's all right. It's all right, Miss Crane. You tell us the rest tomorrow. Now it's upstairs to bed for you. Best take a sedative. Toddy, you help Miss Crane up to her room and get her maid for her.
Right, sir. Here, just lean on me, ma'am.
Thank you, Inspector.
Poor gal. Of course, she is a bit odd, but she doesn't deserve to die that way.
Well, thank heavens she didn't die.
I'm glad. Don't you think it's about time my line was wiped out, Inspector?
Your line? I'm afraid I don't understand you.
This sort of thing's been going on for years. Ask my mother. She's got all their dates, all their pedigrees. The Lebanons have always been somewhat off. My father was more than somewhat. He spent 15 years in the old Lord's room, as mad as a hatter.
I guess that.
But he never strangled anybody. The first time I saw it done was in Pune. A little fellow slipped up behind a big hulking man and... Fascinating. Yes. I tried it on a girl, an Indian girl. She went out like that. Extraordinary, isn't it?
Very. I suppose one uses a scarf, like this one.
You do understand. I brought back dozens of these cars from India. I'm not a big fellow, but I'm awfully strong. Feel my arm. It's rather alarming. People never think I have this strength. Even Gilda doesn't guess.
Gilda?
He's not really a footman, you know. He's sort of... Well, he looks after me. You understand?
Yes. That's what I thought.
And that room my mother wouldn't show you. Well, it's all padded, you know. Rubber cushions all around the walls. I have to go there when I realize things.
You mean when you imagine things?
When I realize things, I know what I'm saying. When I'm quite well, I don't realize things. It's only when I get excited that my brain becomes clear. Don't touch me.
I just wanted a light for my cigarette.
Huh? Oh, I'm awfully sorry. Here. Are you friend or foe?
A friend, of course. Now, why were you so unkind to the chauffeur?
Stud? Oh, I'm awfully sorry about that. He was such a good fellow. But I'm afraid of Indians. One of them tried to kill me. They were very angry about that girl. I didn't know about this beastly masquerade ball in the village. I thought the chauffeur was an Indian.
And Dr. Amersham?
I didn't like him. He had my mother under his thumb. He knew about my realizing things, you see, and he blackmailed her. I'll show you something. Swear you won't tell anybody.
I swear.
Here. It's a gun, loaded. I took it from Gilda's room this evening. It's the first one I've been able to get a hold of since I came back from India.
Very nice. Would you mind not pointing it at me? It might go off.
So it might. Sometimes I think I should turn it on myself. Wipe out the whole silly line. I wonder where Gilda put her.
Put who?
Isla. She was looking awfully like that Indian girl this afternoon. I went behind her and put my arms around her. Did you hear her run down the stairs? She knows. That's why she's frightened of me. She came downstairs the night I smashed up this place. I don't remember doing it, but I suppose I must have. That was the night I nearly got Amersham. And last night when I did get him, she saw me coming back into the house. And I'm terribly strong. You wouldn't think so, would you?
Oh, yes, I would. You know, when you were at my office in Scotland Yard, I said to myself, this fellow is very strong.
Did you really? You are smart, aren't you? I say, I worried them tonight. I didn't drink my bromide. There are lots of ways of getting out of that room of mine. They don't know it, but I do. I fool them lots of times.
Yes, I expect you fool them pretty often. Well, I'm going to bed.
Oh, no, you're not going to bed. You're pretending that you're not scared. But you are. You see, I frighten people.
I'm not frightened.
No?
I'll be sensible and give me that gun.
No.
You want to fool around with a thing like that?
Well, there are lots of things I could do with this. I could end the line with this. Here comes my mother. We'll ask her.
Billy, give me that gun.
No, I won't. I've always wanted a pistol. I've asked you for one dozens of times.
You're going to give me that gun, old fellow?
No, you don't touch me. Don't come near me.
Billy, look, he's going to stop him. Somebody stop him. Well, Inspector,
He's dead. Poor devil.
10 centuries of Lebanon's, 1,000 years of greatness gone out like a candle in the wind.
Totty.
Yes, sir.
Get Scotland Yard. Tell them the Lebanon case is closed.
Oh, if that Lord Lebanon isn't a disappointment. After so neatly strangling all those other people, he had to go and spoil a perfect record by shooting himself. Well, don't go, please. Don't go. They're rehearsing our next performance in a green room. Follow me, please. Come. Come.
Science. I'm brain delivered. Oh, listen to this. It's murder. Oh. I have a booth now, if you want it.
Well, thank you. Do you like that record you just played?
Oh, it's terrible. Corny. Too commercial. Are those the records you want to hear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's the matter with them?
Oh, long hairs. Why don't you get out of your long underwear? So long.
Hey, was that an insult?
No, dear, no. Just jive talk. Play one of our records, Nicky.
Okay, darling. Hey, Nora, what's gut bucket?
Oh, I don't know, darling, but it sounds to me like some new kind of girdle. Sit down, dear.
Hey, what kind of stuff is that?
Beethoven's Romance, dear. It's about time you developed a taste for good music.
What's the matter with my taste? I like to see everything Dinah Shore sings.
You should learn to appreciate the higher forms, dear.
Oh, here's
Oh, Mr. Bailey. Nicky, I want you to meet Mr. Benjamin Bailey, the proprietor of the Cadenza Record Shop.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Charles.
How you do?
Just call me Beethoven Bunny like everybody else does. Well, Mrs. Charles, shall I start lecturing at him?
Oh, please, Benny.
Hey, Nora, is this some kind of a plot?
Uh-huh.
Mr. Charles, now you're just listening to a hunk of music called Romance by Ludwig van Beethoven, which is written in Andante, which means not too fast but don't fall asleep. You get it?
Hey, Benny, where'd you learn about music?
Oh, in my youth, I was the first piccolo player in the Sing Sing Philharmonic Orchestra. Now you take that album there, Shostakovich's Sixth Symphony. Shostakovich was influenced by Prokofiev, Stravinsky, Rachmaninoff, Rimsky-Korsakov, Glazunov, Mussorgsky, and Tchaikovsky. So what happens? So Shostakovich makes with the notes, and if you spend an ear, it sounds a little like Prokofiev, Stravinsky, Rachmaninoff, Rimsky-Korsakov, and Tchaikovsky. Now, they're not to be confused with Beethoven, Bach, Brahms, Mozart, and Papa Haydn, who are of the German school, as against the Russian school. Two nations which are at war today. Which is something to think about, ain't that, Mrs. Charles?
Oh, yes. Yes, it certainly bears thinking about.
So to get along with my suppression, now Beethoven was carrying the torch for a hot little tomato called Countess Guicciardi. Now hark ye, how the great violinist Freddie Fat can place this passage. It's sheer perspiration.
Well, what's the matter with Freddie? Did he run out of perspiration?
No, the record stopped. Something messed up this phonograph.
Oh, won't it go?
No, it's dead.
Well, help me push it away from the wall, Benny.
Well, what killed it, Nicky? Fradkin's playing?
No, baby. It was murdered.
Oh, phonographs don't get murdered. They die natural death.
Well, here's the bullet, Nora. It smashed the motor.
Well, now, who'd want to murder a phonograph?
Must be some torpedo who hates music.
The bullet came through that wall. There's the hole. What's on the other side of this wall, Benny?
Another booth like this. There's just a thin partition of expensive soundproof junk between the booths.
Someone in that other booth fired that bullet. Come on.
I bet it's one of my competitors trying to ruin my business.
Well, there's the door to the other booth. Oh.
Steady, baby.
Oh, look, Nicky, look, that woman.
Benny, turn off that record.
All right.
Is she dead?
Uh-huh. 3 bullet wounds in the head. Danny, you'd better call the police.
Yeah, I'll phone right now.
Nicky, do you think the killer's still around?
No, darling. If he was smart enough to turn on that record to cover the noise of the shots, he's smart enough to make a quick getaway.
He must be a very queer killer, dear. He left his lipstick behind.
What do you mean?
This lipstick I just found. It's called, Passion Smear.
Oh, but that probably belongs to the corpse.
It's a different shade. You see? They don't match her lips.
Yeah. Hey, listen, no, you wait here.
Where are you going?
I want to speak to headquarters. This looks like a case for Inspector Gallagher. I'll be back in a minute.
I wonder if... Oh, I didn't notice that before. This is interesting. Nicky, did you... Oh, who turned off the lights? Oh, let go of me. Let go of you. Help me. Someone is the killer. Nicky! Nicky!
Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Murder in a record shop. Why don't you try to be on hand for our next performance, when we present Nick and Nora Charles in The Adventures of the Thin Man. This is Peter Lorre, closing the doors of the Mystery Playhouse. Good night. Sleep tight. This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Molle. Mollé, the brushless shaving cream with a special protective film that guards your face, presents the Mollé Mystery Theater.
Tonight's Mollé, the brushless shaving cream which puts face protection first, brings you another in the series of programs which puts mystery and excitement first. Each Tuesday night at this time, you hear one of the great mystery stories selected from either the famous classics or from the best of the moderns by Mr. Jeffrey Barnes. Mr. Barnes, who has made a lifelong study of mystery fiction, is a connoisseur of fine detective stories. Mr. Barnes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mollé Mystery Theater. Tonight we bring you a tale of espionage in wartime Washington, set in the exciting days before the invasion of North Africa. It is based on a novel by Richard Powell, and it is called Death Talks Out of Turn. Now, before our Mollé Mystery Theater play begins, may I remind you, the Japanese say, while the Germans say,
Ein amerikanisches Kriegsgeheimnis bedeutet 1000 tote Amerikaner.
In our language, they both mean one American war secret means 1,000 dead Americans. So if you know any military information, for instance, such as troop movements, keep it a mystery and help keep our boys alive. And now to our Mollé Mystery presentation, Death Talks Out of Turn. Friends, I want you to meet Lieutenant Andy Blake, who is here in the studio to tell you his own story. Lieutenant Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes. It was October 1942, and wartime Washington was quite restful until my wife, Arabella, arrived. I'd been commissioned in the Army several months before and had reported in Washington, leaving Arab behind to join me later. I thought that when Arab arrived, my troubles would be over. But I must have been nuts. 5 months of married life should have taught me better. Anytime Mrs. Arabella Blake wraps a guy in cotton wool, he better not strike a match, for it's likely to be gun cotton. Like most of Arab's acts, her arrival in Washington was unannounced. I was finishing up my work in the Pentagon building one evening, only half conscious that something was brushing the back of my neck.
Even if there are 8 girls to every man in Washington, Andy, when I kiss a man, I expect to get his attention.
Arab, where did you come from, darling?
I have a job in Washington as a secretary. And guess where? In the office of the chief of ordnance.
I'm not sure I like you working there. They've got too many things you want to shoot.
Oh, Andy, you're glad I'm here, aren't you?
Glad you're here. Why, gosh, when you came in, Oh, look, Arab, I never could say these things properly.
Oh, you need to be stirred up, Andy. You've been here 2 months, and you're still a first lieutenant. No citations, no ribbons, not even a badge for pistol marksmanship.
The way I handle guns, I'll get a badge and a military funeral at the same time. But meanwhile, we've got to find a place for you to stay.
Oh, I have a room already, Andy.
What?
It's not half as hard to find a room as they say.
There must be a catch somewhere. How did you get this room?
I heard somebody on a bus say that there was a vacancy at a place out on Northwest Q Street. So I went there, and I took it.
I didn't know people in Washington talked out loud about vacant rooms. I thought they whispered.
Well, I was sort of eavesdropping.
I suspect I won't approve of this.
Well, while I was eavesdropping on people talking on buses, I heard a man say, "We're having trouble renting that vacant room at 5797 Q Street. None of the girls have been exactly right."
Well, what's so suspicious about that remark?
Well, I didn't like the way the man said it.
What was he like?
Short and fat and, I think, bald. Gave me the creeps. Andy, I'm sure he's a spy.
Oh, I don't believe it for a minute, sweetheart. But I'm going to have a look at that room of yours.
I live, Andy, with 16 other girls who all work for the government. How'd you like it?
I don't think I like it at all.
Maybe you're right. You know, before I rented the room, they asked me a lot of questions to see if my job was important enough. Wanted to know if I had any connections with people in the Army and Navy.
Come on, Arab. We're getting out of here fast. And don't get out of the car. You're not going back into that house.
Well, I've got to get my things. Anyway, if you won't help me investigate, I'll do it by myself.
Say, wait a minute. You can't do this to me, Arab.
Oh, I can't I? You just watch, Andy Blake.
I was still angry enough at Arab the following morning not to call her at her office. Oh, I had some vague idea of letting her suffer until she called me. But like most of my other ideas about Arab, this one didn't work out either. I soon found out it was I who was apologizing to Arab.
Of course, you were wrong, Andy, dear.
Look, Arab, I wish you'd give this thing up. There probably aren't any spies at the house at all. And if there are, all we have to do is report it to my superior officer, Colonel Parker. Let the Army handle it. They're better equipped.
Oh, that's perfectly silly. Why bother them with this when we can check up and find out?
Yes, but...
Then the Army can step in and take over.
I don't want to be a hero. I just want to do my job in the Army and let it go at that.
Oh, but, Andy, we can do it together and have so much fun.
Arab, I tell you, I'm not going to get...
Oh, all right, Andy Blake. If you won't help me, I'm just going ahead and solve the whole thing myself. So there.
Go ahead, you dope. I'll call you up sometime.
Yes, do, Lieutenant. After all, we do have something in common. A marriage certificate, I believe.
The more I thought about the situation, the more worried I became about Arab. So that night, much against my better judgment, I drove over to Q Street and parked my car near the house where I could watch it. It was a quiet street.
so it was doubly startling when suddenly a woman screamed from the direction of Arab's boarding house. Something shut the scream off fast, as though a hand was placed over the woman's mouth. I ran across the street and plunged into the garden. 50 feet away, a man was dodging behind a tree. I sprinted towards him. He was short and fat, but that was about all I could see. He turned suddenly and waited for me. Waited in an odd, crouched position, his fingers stroking the air in front of him, almost like a pianist testing the keys. My memory groped for a picture I'd seen once, a picture done on rice paper. There had been a short, fat man in the same hunched position. In the background, the artist had painted a tiny white-capped mountain. But even as he moved toward me, still in this hunched position, a woman's voice came from a few feet away.
Stop at this moment. I am Mrs. Fielding, Lieutenant Blake. I own this house, and your pretty wife has been boarding with me for a week. I think you should beg the lieutenant's pardon, Mr. Jones.
I beg your pardon, Lieutenant. You came at me so fast, I failed to note your insignia.
Oh, a woman screamed. Was it you, Mrs. Fielding?
Something ran through the bushes. A rabbit, perhaps, or a cat. I am nervous.
Oh, would you like me to see you into the house?
No, I don't think so. Thank you.
Well, then, good night.
I've not apologized properly for my foolish actions, Lieutenant. But you are also very foolish. Never run at an enemy that way. Come more slowly. Look at my hands. I can break a small club with the edge of my palm. Can you do that, Lieutenant?
I wish I'd known that stuff when I was a kid in the Pine Tree Patrol. You see, we had little scout hatchets, and I was always chopping myself instead of the wood.
You do not understand. I was assuming that the club was the man's neck. Your mistake, Lieutenant, is hitting a man with a fist. The fist is broad. It spreads the impact over too much space.
I've been getting along all right with fists so far.
What do you think will happen when an American soldier has to fight a judo expert?
The American might shoot the Jap.
We will hope it turns out that way. I'm glad to have met you, Lieutenant Blake. My name is Jones.
Mr. Jones lives next door.
If you'll pardon me, Mrs. Fielding, I'll be running along now.
Good night, Lieutenant Blake.
Just remember my advice, Lieutenant. Be careful how you run at a man. Or better yet, don't run at him at all, and then you will be sure of being safe.
There was something about Mr. Jones I didn't like. I wanted to find out more about him. So I circled around the block, cut through a garden, and ended up at the back door of his house. The door was unlocked. I stepped inside and listened. There was no sound. Then I started my search using a flashlight. There was nothing downstairs, so I went up to the second floor and entered a huge study. I found a newspaper clipping there that had been torn out violently. The story was about a recent broadcast picked up by the FBI from a station inside Germany. A man calling himself Gustav Heinz had told the German people that if only Himmler and his Gestapo were kicked out, all of Germany's troubles would be over. I had heard of those broadcasts. We believed the stations to be backed by the German military leaders, the old Junkers. There was nothing else in the study, so I snapped off the flashlight and peered out of the window. I could barely see the house across the street. But as I watched, something stirred in the garden below. A figure was stealing toward Mrs. Fielding's house. The figure stepped across a starlit space, and I stopped breathing. The prowler was Arab. Well, I knew Mrs. Fielding and Jones were inside the house, and that if Arab was planning to eavesdrop again, they would be sure to catch her. I had to get her attention. My hand grabbed a straight wooden chair and slammed it through the window. I stuck my head in the opening and let out a yell. Suddenly, I heard a door slam downstairs. The fat man must have run out of the house next door the minute he heard the crash. I could picture him creeping up the stairs, feeling the air ahead of him with those clutching fingers. My best chance was to wait for him to make a noise. I pressed back against the wall of the room and waited. Somewhere in that house, death was moving toward me. My breathing was getting louder, like a guy in the last stages of asthma. I tried to hold my breath. Now a sound of breathing was coming up the stairs. Somebody else was breathing. The fat man was somewhere near me. I felt around me in the darkness until I finally found a weapon, A small statuette. I flung it in the direction of the breathing and grabbed for my flashlight. The beam showed the fat man in the center of the room struggling to get his gun out of his pocket. The statuette had missed. I could see the gun coming from his pocket, but I stood there, frozen. Then another voice spoke somewhere within the room. The most welcome sound I have ever heard. It was Arab.
Drop that gun. Keep that light in his eyes.
Don't worry, I will.
Now, just hold that pretty pose, Mr.
You'll never get to me. Oh, it sounds like a light.
Of course, darling. Now let's get out of here. Hurry. Darling, your timing was perfect. Now we've got to move, but fast. Hurry up or we'll be followed.
Oh, I know this is only going to mean trouble, Arab. But what's the program?
First, we go to your room.
You mean we're finally going to be alone?
No, I don't think we'll be alone.
All right, let's have it.
It's like this. There's 16 girls living in a house on Q Street. We all have jobs in industries or the government. And we all like to chatter.
You mean the girls talk military secrets?
Oh, I don't mean any of the girls consciously tells anything. But they do give out little things that, added together, may mean a lot.
I'll turn in a report the first thing in the morning.
But, darling, you won't have time because, well, I've elected you as the bait.
What? How do you mean?
All week I've been keeping a diary. And tonight at dinner I babbled about how I was going out with an army lieutenant. I told him I'd have to be ever so careful of what I said, for you had told me you were horrified by all this loose talk. And I said you'd written down all the bits and pieces I'd been telling you all week, and that you'd invited me to come up to check your notes tonight. I made sure that Renee Fielding and Mr. Jones overheard the address.
Well, meet the widow Blake. At times, I think you only married me because you thought I'd make a good-looking corpse. Well, while we're waiting here in my room for your Mr. Jones, where are those notes of yours?
Well, here's the one about Jane, who works in special service. After finishing breakfast, she suddenly pulled a word in Arabic on us.
Well, what's suspicious about that?
Jane has no interest in anything geographic. She happens to work in special service, and that's the branch that puts out guidebooks for soldiers.
Well, what else?
Ruby works for the Office of Petroleum Coordinator. She made an interesting remark the other morning about invasions taking a lot of oil.
Arabic. Oil. Go on.
Libby works in the State Department. Day before yesterday, she was asking Mrs. Fielding about what Darlon was like.
Darlon's more important in North Africa than Bataan or Laval.
Jean's boyfriend is a second lieutenant in the 1st Armored Division. Was last reported at Indio, California. Jean said the next letter she got from him would have an APO number.
Say, Indio's a desert training center.
Mary Arden says that she has to type requisitions for goggles and mosquito bars all day.
Goggles means sand or dust. Mosquito bars means tropical or semi-tropical countries. Put them together and they spell desert.
Ginger works for Transportation Corps, and she was talking about shipping locomotives for narrow-gauge railroads.
North Africa again.
But Andy, what does all this add up to?
It adds up to the fact that the joint Allied operations against the enemy in North Africa is already underway, and that Jones and Mrs. Fielding know about it. Holy smokes! I'm going to call Colonel Parker. Oh, the line's dead. Why, the wire must have been cut.
Come here, Andy, quick.
What is it?
They're in the front yard. If you look closely, you can see the shadows of 2 men standing beneath that tree. They're here, Andy. Jones and someone else.
But it's impossible. Well, we can't be trapped right in the center of Washington.
Andy, we've got to make a break for it. I'll go first out the back door. I've got my gun. If anybody tries to stop me, I'm going to shoot.
If anybody's going to draw them off, I'm going to. Give me the gun.
No, darling. I'm the one who can shoot, so I'm going first. One of us has to get away, and this is the best chance.
You think...
Andy, if anything happens, I'm sorry I used to steal all the covers from you and use up all the bath towels after a shower. Goodbye, darling.
But wait a minute. Why, that little idiot. Why did she leave now? Arab! Arab! Where are you?
This is
Jeffrey Barnes bringing down the curtain on the first act of tonight's Mollé Mystery Theater play, and reminding you that even now, after 2 years of war, there are still a few people who think something like this.
Listen, we're winning the war. It'll be over in no time. What's the use of working yourself to death?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are some people like that. And yet no one can tell us when the war will be over, because no one knows. But everyone knows that we're now in a crucial moment of this war, and we must break every war production record to keep arms flowing to the front. In order to do this, hundreds of thousands of women are needed in war-useful work, because they are the only adequate source of labor to replace men who are entering the service. Women must work as men must fight. And since lack of experience is not a handicap, women can get war-useful jobs in transportation, communications, retail trades, and other necessary services. So, ladies, if you can spare the time for a part-time or full-time job, time to work along with millions of fine American men and women, go to your United States Employment Office and tell them that you are available. Your United States Employment Service can tell you where you are needed most. And now here's Jeffrey Barnes and Act 2 of Death Talks Out of Turn.
Lieutenant Andy Blake and his enterprising and charming wife, Arabella, have become involved with a Nazi spy ring in wartime Washington. And as the second act of our play opens, Lieutenant Blake has come to report the emergency to his superior officer, Colonel Parker, who will take the steps necessary.
Colonel Parker, wake up! Colonel Parker! Ed, what is it? Oh, Lieutenant Blake, come in. It's that Q Street business I told you about, Colonel. My wife was right. They pieced together a lot of North African and invasion data, and
Keep your voice down, Lieutenant.
Well, sir, I think these people in the Q Street house have also got my wife. They kidnapped her, just now, in front of the place where I live.
Don't worry, Lieutenant. We'll have the house on Q Street in the bag in 10 minutes.
Yes, but
I'll have 2 companies of guards turned out to search Washington and get orders through to watch all roads.
But I want to do...
I'll keep in touch with you, Lieutenant. The best thing for you to do now is to go home and try to get some sleep.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. But I couldn't get some sleep. I kept thinking that Arab might be merely a small huddled shape somewhere. I got into the car and drove back toward Q Street. Suddenly, a block away, my headlights gleamed on a small white sports shoe lying by the side of the road. It was Arab's. I stopped the car, leaped out, and bent over to pick it up. It was too late when I saw the club swinging from my head. Sometime later, I came to, lying in the back of a car with my arms and legs securely bound with rope. The car turned into a driveway, and someone pulled me out.
Well, Lieutenant Blake, you must have a hard head. I didn't expect you to be conscious so soon.
Where's my wife?
If you're quiet, you will see her in just a minute. Hold still, Lieutenant, while I untie your legs. If you will notice, Lieutenant Blake, you're now in a very lonely section along the Atlantic coast. The house here was once used by rum runners during Prohibition, but it has been well stocked with ammunition for just such emergencies as this. Come on, Lieutenant. Your legs are untied. We're going in.
Joey! Joey! Well, Chief, I see you got the little Boy Scout.
You may sit in that straight chair, Lieutenant. I think we will leave your hands tied. You've caused too much trouble. Joey, tie up his legs again.
Andy, are you all right?
Oh, nothing wrong but paralysis of the brain. That and the company we find ourselves in.
You are amusing, Lieutenant.
You're pretty killing yourself, Mrs. Fielding. But how are you and Jonesy and this mug going to get out of this? Our Army and Navy isn't asleep, you know.
Your defense command has no chance. Give us the German Army and the Navy and the Air Force, and we, the Gestapo, will rule the world.
Chief, it is late. We've got to get moving.
Lieutenant, you will see how well the Gestapo works. Our submarine is waiting off the coast. All I have to do is signal her, and we will be picked up. I'm so sorry to disappoint you, Lieutenant. I know you're thinking I will signal with a light and one of your destroyers will see it. But you are wrong. Our signal light is an infrared ray. Can only be picked up by a photoelectric cell.
Andy, is there really one of our destroyers out there?
Of course there is, Mrs. Blake. I've seen one in the last few minutes. But it will do you no good. You Americans are too stupid.
So, you have the plans for our invasion of North Africa, Herr Jones, and now you're going to signal them to the command of that submarine. But what's to prevent the submarine commander from taking all the credit himself, huh? All right. You work for Himmler. But who does the sub-commander work for?
Admiral Canaris of the German Naval Intelligence, of course.
But do you think that sub-commander and Admiral Canaris will give you a build-up? Do you know what's going to happen to you?
Why, no, of course not. What do you mean?
In a few minutes, the sub-commander will see you coming out in a rubber boat. He'll tell his men that there are Americans in the boat. 10 rounds of rapid fire. 10 rounds, Jonesy, and you'll be...
Stop it! Stop it, I tell you. We'll see who gets the credit. I won't give the plans to the sub-commander. I'll use the shortwave set.
But the destroyers can pick up that stuff.
A chance in 100. One destroyer cannot cover the entire shortwave band. We'll take a chance. Joey, get the code book in the lower right-hand door. Get paper and pencil.
Yeah,
first sentence, Jones to Ulich. Second sentence, for Himmler only. Third sentence, 2 United States forces sail from East Coast ports of embarkation. Fourth sentence, objective North Africa, absolutely confirmed. Encode that, Joey, quickly. There will be more.
Okay, Chief.
There it is. Now give me the message, Joey.
Andy, why did you talk them into using the short wave?
But with them using a shortwave radio, our men will be able to locate the target, this house, and start shooting. Any minute now. There it is. Come on, boys. Lay it in there, lad. Watch for this one, Jonesy. Come on, boys. Right one, double, down 5. 1, 2, 3, down. Joey, grenade. They're on the papers. Hurry up. They've got their bracket now. No change, no change. Hurry up, Joey. Hold on to your hat, Arab, darling.
I'd rather hold your hand.
Oh, I wish I could think of something deathless to say.
I love you, Andy.
I love you.
That's deathless enough. Andy, wake up, darling.
Huh?
You've got to.
What happened? What am I doing here?
You threw a hand grenade at Jonesy after the explosion that wrecked the house.
Oh.
Just as he fired his .45 at you. And missed.
What about the grenade?
Didn't go off.
It didn't.
You aren't wounded, really. Only a little burned. It was the explosion of the house that got Jonesy.
Where's Rennie and the other guy?
They got away in the rowboat. Submarine must have picked them up.
And why didn't the grenade go off?
They don't go off unless you pull the pin, dear.
I never even fired a BB gun. How would I know you had to pull a pin?
Andy, you must have thrown it like a baseball. You hit him right in the head.
I did?
You can throw grenades that well, darling. We'll have some special ones made just for you. Without pins.
But I saw a flash, and there was an awful noise.
.45 makes an awful racket when it's shot off right in your face. You just got some powder burn.
What about the submarine?
I think our destroyer got it, Andy. It was out there putting over depth bombs while you were out. The noise just stopped this minute.
And we've got to get right back to Washington and make a report. To think this all started because a few people forgot and talked about their work. Oh, if they'd only kept their mouths shut, none of this would have happened, Arab. Nor could you have overheard any of it and got us mixed up in it.
Oh, Andy, darling, I won't ever try to stir things up again. From now on, I'll be quiet like a mouse.
Well, all I can say is, if you're going to be a mouse, darling, heaven help the cat.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our Mollé Mystery Theater play tonight has introduced us to a very lovable little lady who delights in solving problems.
As a matter of fact, she's right here, Mr. Barnes, and wants to tell our audience about another problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Arabella Blake.
Thank you, Dan. You know, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, after my experience in Washington, I did settle down. But later, when Andy went overseas, I became aware of the problem Mr. Seymour's referring to. And, well, I knew that when Andy heard about it, he'd think I was up to something. But I went out and got myself a job. And, ladies, I didn't have any previous experience. Just that short while as a secretary in the Ordnance Department. But I had plenty of time and I guess a sort of appreciation for the privilege of being allowed to live while the momentous history of today is being made. You know, we women know how to work. All of us do. And oftentimes we can take over and do just as good a job as the men. And friends, the need for women and more useful work is urgent. So tonight, I want to ask each one of you ladies in the audience to consider the advantages of helping your country now, in this, the crisis of the war. At the same time, I want you to consider the extra income you'll have earned. Then, if you decide that you can take a war job, go immediately to your local United States Employment Office and tell them you're available. Ladies, our country's need for woman power is serious. Our country's need is now.
And now Jeffrey Barnes to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, we welcome to our Mollé Mystery Theater two of the most unusual detectives you've ever met. Miss Rachel Murdoch, a delightful old lady of 70, and her Persian black cat, Samantha. Our story was written by D.B. Olson, and its title is The Cat Saw Murder. So, mystery fans, we invite you to be with us next week for that mystifying adventure thriller, The Cat Saw Murder.
Thank you for listening to and showing your support to my podcast. If you would like to receive notifications of when new episodes are posted, please subscribe to my channel. Subscriptions are 100% free, and they really help me get an idea of how I'm doing. Well, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, and as always, peace.